And good morning, Tennessee Valley. Good Monday morning, October the 15th. Wow. Hard to keep straight after a wild weekend, I guess. But welcome to Tennessee Valley this morning. My name is Alan Mincy. I'm your host. And my co-host is, of course, Lou. Say hi, Lou. We didn't mic Lou, so I'm sorry. You probably didn't hear that. But Lou says hi from all of us down at United Way, where I work. And, of course, we start our show with a little bit of things going on with United Way. And then we bring in our great guests. We've got three great guests that are over there already laughing at me and Lou. So it's going to be a lot of fun this morning. More fun than you should have on a Monday morning, right? But a couple of things concerning United Way. First, we want to remind folks once again that our friends down at Simply Massage, which is Lisa and Sarah that are down there, are when they do massages through the month of October, they give back $5 of each massage to United Way of Bradley County. So if you've had a rough week, that's the place to go. Get yourself a massage. All the things that they do down there that they will give $5 back to United Way. So please frequent Simply Massage. And don't forget, we also do our Restaurant Tuesday for United Way. And this Tuesday, tomorrow, we're going to be at a new business called FIG. And FIG stands for, I see blank stares over there. FIG stands for, food is good. Yes, food is good. And FIG is located out next to Jumpin' Junction. A lot of you parents may know where that's at, but it's out across from the YMCA on Old Tasso Road, right next to Advanced Photographic Solutions. They will be giving a percentage of sales from lunch sales from 11 to 3 o'clock on Tuesday. So please, if you get the chance, go out to FIG. I went out there. You can tell I do like food. Food is good, especially when it's in my belly. So, go out and have some great food out at FIG, and you'll be helping United Way. Great show today. We've got three great guests. I've got Fran Green from actually she is the Administrator of Elections. Did I get that right, Fran? Yeah. Yay, okay. Fran Green is here. We also have Sharon Marr, and she is with Main Street Cleveland. We're going to talk a little bit about the block party. And then a friend of mine who is getting ready to retire from the world of communications, Randall Higgins, who has worked at the Chattanooga Times Free Press for many years. Prior to that, a lot of folks remember him from the Cleveland Daily Banner days. So we've got three great guests. We've got just a lot of laughs to come, a lot of information to come, so please stay tuned. We'll be right back with Fran Green right after these messages.
Great local sports right here on WTNB East Tennessee Television. Keep up to date on all your Walker Valley sports news Wednesdays with the Walker Valley Sports Zone. Get a behind-the-scenes look at all the local high school area football with the pregame Thursdays at 10. And it's a Friday night tradition. Football Friday, every Friday night at 11 o'clock. Right here on WTNB East Tennessee Television.
Kyle Motors, 802 20th Street Southeast in Cleveland, is the place to find quality pre-owned cars and trucks. Kyle offers on-the-spot financing on all vehicles on the lot. Each pre-owned vehicle goes through a complete inspection to make sure each car and truck meets the Kyle Motors standard. Warranty and extended warranties available on all vehicles. Kyle Motors will sell you a car or truck that you will be proud to drive for many years to come. See Tony, Bill, Dale, James, or David and let them put you in your next quality pre-owned vehicle. Kyle Motors, 802 20th Street Southeast. Phone 790-7100.
At Crawford Pharmacy, we offer custom compounding. Our pharmacists are known for their attention to detail and unique expertise. So visit us at 2260 Chambliss Avenue, Cleveland, Tennessee. For personal assistance, walk right in or come up to our convenient drive-thru. Crawford Pharmacy, serving our community one person at a time.
Has your disability application been denied? Are you frustrated with the administration's processing of your claim? Do you feel as though the administration simply does not understand why you cannot work? You're not alone. My name is Matthew Coleman and I'm an attorney representative. I find that many of my clients share these concerns and others. As a representative, it's my job to communicate your claim to the administration in a language that they can understand. As an attorney, it's my duty to fight for the disability benefits that you deserve. Come talk to me. The Social Security Law Center at Logan Thompson, PC.
Featuring some of the South's most scenic views, the Mountain View Inn has been a landmark in the Cleveland community for over 40 years. Our executive guest quarters with flat-screen TVs and excellent bedding will make any guest comfortable. Carrie's Restaurant is one of Cleveland's favorite, with one of the best buffets around.
Hello, and on behalf of the Hughes family, thank you for so many years of your business and your friendship.
Town Americana, where trucks are big and bold, and a handshake is firm, and your word is gold. Don Ledford Chevy Buick GMC in Athens is a $2,000 drive. Maybe you're coming from here or here, doesn't matter. Buying a truck from Don Ledford in Athens will save you at least $2,000 bucks. Don Ledford Chevy Buick GMC in Athens, a $2,000 drive worth making.
I'll take that drive every time.
And welcome back to Tennessee Valley this morning. My name is Alan Mincy, your host on the Monday morning version of TVTM. Actually, I alternate Mondays, but this is my Monday, and I've got my good friend Fran Green. And Fran, I know I get your title mixed up because a lot of times I just want to say Bradley County Election Commission, and you are not a part of the Bradley County Election Commission.
I'm not of the commission.
Okay.
I'm the administrator of elections for the commission.
Okay, so if I wanted to, if I tell somebody and they say, where can I go vote, I would say the Bradley County Election
Commission.
Office. Okay, office. Okay. See, there's a lot of words in there that get me confused, but we know that you are administrator of elections. How long have you held that title?
Since 2006.
Okay, but you've been with the Bradley County Elections Commission office
Since 89.
Wow. Okay, I think that's where I first met you. So it was back in '89 when you first started, and of course at that time, David Ellis was the
registrar.
Registrar. So things have changed around. It's hard for me to keep. My mind is it's Monday morning, and you're confusing me. But well, what exactly does the administrator of elections do?
I oversee to make sure we have fair and impartial elections in Bradley County.
Okay. That's it in a nutshell.
That's it in a nutshell.
But I know that, and that means you supervise a staff, I'm sure.
I supervise the staff. We do voter registration. We work closely with the state. We help our candidates. We prepare for elections. That's about it.
Okay. But we've got an election coming up. Big election.
We do. It starts this Wednesday. We
there
start
we go.
Early voting.
Right. And that's pretty much why I wanted to get you on today, because I remember last week I was listening and there was a deadline for registering to vote.
Yes.
And now there's a deadline, or not a deadline, but an actual starting date for early voting.
Right.
And that goes for what, 2 weeks or?
Until November 1st, yes, 14 days.
14 days before the election. Mm-hmm. Okay. Early voting, they can do that at the Bradley County Election Commission office, but they can do it other places as well.
We have 2 satellites. One is at the mall inside in the community room. It's the conference room. It's between Penny's and K Jewelers on the inside. It was there in July. And Bilo on the bypass on McGrady Drive, we have a little portable precinct in their parking lot.
Do we see a lot of folks that take advantage of early voting?
We vote normally 50% of our total vote early.
Wow. So, so we're going to look at our numbers after that, say at November, before the election, and we can anticipate that we may get the same amount voting that on November 7th? 6th. So that gives us an idea of what our total vote may be for this area.
Possibly.
And you've gone through presidential elections before. Do they usually bring out more people?
They do. They do.
Okay, I didn't know.
I looked at the numbers, and in 2008 we voted 22,000 early. So. What
is our record? Do we have a record of people who have voted in an election?
I'm sure we do, but
yeah,
not on Monday morning.
No, it's hard to. I was told there was no math when I came on this show. The process of going through the early voting is the same as it would be on the day that you vote. You have to go in. You have to have your voter or your picture ID.
State or federally issued photo ID.
Okay, but you can vote at any of these places.
You can, as long as you're a registered voter of Bradley County.
November 6th, you vote in your precinct.
Yeah, your assigned polling location.
Okay, how many of those do we have in town?
We have 17 of those.
Okay, I did that for the first time. The last time I voted, I had never not voted early and was confused as I could be because I didn't know exactly where to go vote. It ended up being E.L. Ross. But
we get a lot of that.
But
on election day.
Well, how can they find out where if you don't know exactly where you're voting? I'm sure they could call the office, but you guys are busy already. Do you have a website?
We do. It's bradleyelections.com. You can actually go to the states. There's a link to the state there that would tell you where you're registered at, and I almost think there's a map there too.
Okay, so
but that link's within our link.
But do you have some precincts that sort of overlap? And I don't know if I'm asking the right question, but maybe I vote, and it won't be this election, but I may vote for a city election one precinct or a county election another, or
split precincts?
Yes.
We have tons of split precincts.
Okay, see, I don't know the right. I don't know all the technical terms, but will that be coming into play in the election that's coming up?
Actually, it will. Not in the city aspect because there is no city elections in November, but we are now congressionally split between the 3rd and the 4th congressional, and I have 7 precincts that are split congressionally. So I would remind the voters to make sure you get the right ballot selection. If you're in the 3rd and you get a 4th, then you'd want to stop before you cast your ballot.
And they would know that?
They should.
They should know that. Okay. But if they have any questions, now I've worked a lot with a lot of the folks at the Election Commission office, and they're very nice, very helpful.
Thank you.
And I'm sure that they're the same out at the precincts when they do the voting out there. If you have a question, all you have to do is ask.
That is right.
So when do you think we will know how Bradley County voted? That's a loaded question because we've had some times where the totals have come in late. I think didn't we have at one time McMinn County came down to have some ballots counted or something like that. I can't remember.
Well, no, McMinn County's had trouble years back, and we had to send tabulators up there because we had a spare tabulator. That's when we had punch cards. But the polls close at 8.
Okay.
At 8 o'clock, if you're in line to vote, that you still can vote. So if there's a line at 8, they're not going to shut down and come back to the election office until later. It just, I mean, usually we get our last precinct in by 9. A couple elections back, we had a machine break, not break, but we had to pull the card out and get votes differently, and then so there is many different variables, but I'm hoping to go home by 11.
There you go. Well, it used to be, you remember the old days when all of us, and Randall Higgins is here today, and we would be sitting over at the courthouse waiting for you folks from the annex to bring the papers over. And now you don't have to do that anymore. You can go straight online.
You can go straight online.
And a lot of times I think our radio stations, our newspapers now, our TV stations are doing that to report the totals.
Yes.
Tell us again, and I think you told us, but what is the Bradley County Elections website?
www.bradleyelections.com.
Okay, because there was a time there that it was very similar to the county's website.
Yes.
So you changed that, so now it's much easier. BradleyElections.com. Okay. What do you do on the day after the elections?
Crash and burn about 3 o'clock.
I started to say, but then you have to go through the process of what's the word I'm looking for? The results.
We canvass to make sure everything was done proper.
Okay.
Applications, matches the poll book signatures, matches the votes on the machine. Then we do payroll. Then we start processing voter history.
Okay. And then we're pretty much done until the next election. When is our next big election after November? Do we have a?
As long as there's no specials in 2014.
Oh, okay, and that would be, we'll have city and county
That's
races.
when all your county commissions up, your sheriff's race will be up.
Those are always big.
Well, that's the big county election.
Okay, that's the one that I always loved covering. So, you've been there since '89. You say you wouldn't still be there if you didn't enjoy it. So I know there are days probably.
I do enjoy what I do. I love helping the candidates and helping the voters. And when people look, I'll tell them I hate politics. And they're like, what? And you work at the election commission? I do, but because we're fair and impartial. And I don't like the bickering, but that's not for me.
Okay.
I give the voters what they want.
Do you vote early?
I vote early.
Okay.
I have missed early voting twice.
Okay, and you had to go vote at your precinct.
Well, I missed election day those times too.
Because you were busy.
Because I was having babies.
Okay, but hey, you knew where to go to vote early.
I did.
I
don't go very far.
No, you just have to go to the other side of the counter there to do that. If anybody has any questions, once again, what's the phone number down at the Election Commission?
It's 423-728-7115.
Okay, and how many do you have on your staff down?
I have 2 full-time, 2 part-time, and myself.
And our Election Commission has 5 members?
5 members, 3 of the majority party, 2 of the minority party.
Okay. Who's our majority party now?
That's the Republican Party.
Okay. And we'll see on November the 6th if we remain, well, no, actually we won't. That's presidential. So we will stay with the 3-2 that we have now until.
I don't believe it's an issue, but no, the majority in the state of Tennessee does include your state senate and your House of Representatives.
Got you.
Those offices are up as well,
Okay.
not all of them, but I don't think there's a chance of shift right now.
Okay. Well, that's a lot of information for a Monday morning for everybody.
And Mondays are great.
Yeah. Well, Fridays are better, but I really appreciate you coming on. I know this is not something that you push yourself out there in the public eye. You do your job and you do it well, but you're not, let the other folks grab the spotlight, the camera time. But I appreciate you coming on. We've been friends a long time, and I sort of used our friendship to sneak you in here and
if
everything.
I didn't like you, I wouldn't have done it.
So I appreciate that, but hope you have a good election.
Thank you.
Good early voting. Once again, starts Wednesday.
Starts Wednesday, 9 to 6, Monday through Friday, 9 to 4 on Saturday.
Okay, so it does take place on Saturdays too. And if you can't early vote, November 6th from 8 to 8.
Correct.
And please, you know, it's something a lot of folks around the world don't have the opportunity to do is vote. So take advantage of it. Okay. Fran Green, Administrator of Elections, thanks for being on.
Thank you.
We're going to take another break, and then we're going to have Sharon Marr from Main Street Cleveland come on and tell us a little bit about a party they're having downtown, on October 31st, I believe. So we'll be right back after these messages.
Town Americana, where trucks are big and bold, and a handshake is firm, and your word is gold. Don Ledford Chevy Buick GMC in Athens is a $2,000 drive. Maybe you're coming from here or here, doesn't matter. Buying a truck from Don Ledford in Athens will save you at least $2,000 bucks. Don Ledford Chevy Buick GMC in Athens, a $2,000 drive worth making.
I'll take that drive every time.
Hello, I'm Bill Odom.
Hi, and I'm Tammy Odom.
We want to invite you to join us on Joyous Living Today for interviews, testimonies, and gospel music by special guests and Dixie Sunshine.
Right here on WTNB, Sundays at 4 p.m. and Tuesdays at 7:30 p.m. You don't want to miss it.
Jesus, Jesus, the light of the world.
Featuring some of the South's most scenic views, the Mountain View Inn has been a landmark in the Cleveland community for over 40 years. Our executive guest quarters with flat screen TVs and excellent bedding will make any guest comfortable. Carrie's Restaurant is one of Cleveland's favorite, with one of the best buffets around.
Hello, and on behalf of the Hughes family, thank you for so many years of your business and your friendship.
Has your disability application been denied? Are you frustrated with the administration's processing of your claim? Do you feel as though the administration simply does not understand why you cannot work? You're not alone. My name is Matthew Coleman, and I'm an attorney representative. I find that many of my clients share these concerns and others. As a representative, it's my job to communicate your claim to the administration in a language that they can understand. As an attorney, it's my duty to fight for the disability benefits that you deserve. Come talk to me. The Social Security Law Center at Logan Thompson, PC.
At Crawford Pharmacy, we offer custom compounding. Our pharmacists are known for their attention to detail and unique expertise. So visit us at 2260 Chambliss Avenue, Cleveland, Tennessee. For personal assistance, walk right in or come up to our convenient drive-thru. Crawford Pharmacy, serving our community one person at a time.
Kyle Motors, 802 20th Street Southeast in Cleveland, is the place to find quality pre-owned cars and trucks. Kyle offers on-the-spot financing on all vehicles on the lot. Each pre-owned vehicle goes through a complete inspection to make sure each car and truck meets the Kyle Motors standard. Warranty and extended warranties available on all vehicles. Kyle Motors will sell you a car or truck that you will be proud to drive for many years to come. See Tony, Bill, Dale, James, or David and let them put you in your next quality pre-owned vehicle. Kyle Motors, 802 20th Street Southeast. Phone 790-7100.
And welcome back to Tennessee Valley this morning on this early Monday morning. We're looking almost at 7 o'clock, coming up to the top of the hour. And we have with us today, being me and Lou, we have with us Sharon Marr.
Good morning.
Good morning. Sharon and I go a ways back too. Yeah. Oh, Lou loves that. But Sharon and I go back even before you became Main Street Cleveland Executive Director. What's the title? Executive Director. But you have been in that position for how long?
7 years.
7 years.
Yep.
Okay. And I remember back in the days when Paul Kirksey was there. So I go back quite a while. I guess Paul was the first.
He was 1990 to about 93.
So, but you have been there since, and Main Street does a great job in our community. Before we get into, and we want to talk about the block party, of course, but before we get into that, what exactly does Main Street do in our community?
Well, Main Street in the nutshell is a nonprofit organization. We're dedicated to the revitalization and promotion of downtown. We are a certified Tennessee Main Street community, one of 24 in the state. So it means we go through an accreditation process each year to maintain that Main Street name. So in addition to events that you see, most of the events downtown come through Main Street. There are a few that don't. We do revitalization projects. The Courthouse Plaza was one. First Street Square was a big one. We're doing some smaller projects right now that are in the master plan, the downtown plan. You might have had a little frustration if you tried to drive up Inman Street last week with the bridge being, the underpass closed, but that's all opened back up and freshly painted. And that was a partnership with Main Street and the city of Cleveland to some beautification around the railroad underpass. It looks really good.
It needed it.
It was looking rough.
So that was great. And for those of us that knew how to get, a lot of us go around it anyway, because in my case, our office is just down from it. So I'm so used to going through the old Whirlpool, old Maytag plant that I don't even go under the underpass anymore.
Well, it's pretty now, so drive under it and enjoy it.
I will do that. And of course, when we get into December, you guys are involved with the Christmas parade.
We do, Christmas parade and tree lighting and carols in the city, which is on Friday night, November 30th, and the parade is Saturday, December 1st. All those things come through Main Street.
And we have the cars. Car show.
It's the last one of the season is October 27th.
Okay.
It's the gospel night. There'll be several gospel bands playing that evening. A great show. It's always the big finale for the year, and they've had a great season. Average about 500 cars a month. They're finishing their 11th year of doing the cruise-ins.
It seems like a lot of the same folks go to it, but they love it.
They do love it.
They love seeing those cars. And though it probably isn't related to Main Street, it is in a way when we have things downtown like the Relay for Life. They coordinate with you guys. And the Apple Festival. Coming
up this weekend, actually, Saturday and Sunday. So yes, it's a great event. Thousands of people come to the Apple Festival. It's done by the Cleveland Apple Festival Association, but we do help them in certain areas and partner with them. So it's a great event, tons of good food, crafters, great entertainment. So you definitely want to come out this weekend for that.
But for 25 years, what is 25, 1987, we have had a downtown event called the Block Party.
That's right.
And you say you've been there 7 years, but you attended the Block Party even before.
I think we've been to most of them, I believe.
And
it's more fun being there as a spectator.
Oh, I can imagine. If I remember right, we've even had a couple that, and now I may be thinking of something prior to that ended up down at the old village because of weather concerns.
The very first one actually rained terribly bad, and they moved it to the village for the entertainment.
But we've had some great events. 20,000 people, is that right, that have attended these? Or more?
Yeah, or more. Because last year, Mars Chocolate had pre-bagged 10,000 bags of candy. You know, like this much in a grocery bag. They give away literally tons of candy. And that candy they started giving out at 5:30, and it was gone at about 8 o'clock.
Wow.
So 10,000 bags. And we knew we had 10,000, so that's an incredible number coming through there. This year, they're pre-bagging 15,000. So we just can't say thank you enough to Mars Chocolate. They have taken this event to a new level. They've been involved, I believe, 8 or 9 years now in doing the candy, and it's just tremendous what they do.
Well, I know that it was begun as a safe alternative to trick-or-treating, and you know when M&M Mars are bagging the treats, that it's going to be safe because it's their product in most cases. So that's great. And now where is Treat Street?
It's on Church Street. The Mars tent is set up in front of the police department, which is a neat tie-in because it actually started at the police department back in '87. Arnold Botts was there, and they started handing out candy at the police department, and it grew into the event that it has become over the years. So when the new police department opened in '05, then '06 came, we put Treat Street there in front of the police, and it's been a great fit.
What else do we see down at the block party? And I hate to say this, but it's been a couple of years since I've been to the block party. I was with you. I was at those early ones. I was there, working at the banner, taking pictures, and just enjoying everything that was going on. But for someone who has never been to a Main Street block party, and we talk about Treat Street, what else goes on around the courthouse?
We have, of course, great entertainment. Live entertainment starts at 5 o'clock at the courthouse stage. The Chilhowie Dance and Performing Arts is going to kick that off with a group of dancers, and they are phenomenal, do a great job. And about 5:30, we have the first band start, Secondhand Smoke, a local group. They're very good. Very good. Playing a lot of oldies and up to current day. At 6:30 roughly, Dexter Thomas Band, which is a local favorite. They're awesome.
Never heard of them. Nah, Dexter Thomas is great.
They're awesome.
They are.
They should be on they could be professional. I think they could have made it big.
I think they are.
So they play until about 8 o'clock, and then the headline act called Driving and Crying will be on the Check Into Cash main stage, because Check Into Cash is our sponsor for the headline act, and we appreciate so much their involvement over all these years.
Now, where is the main stage located?
Well, this year we're back with a stage in the street. We haven't had a stage in the street the last few years because our bands have fit at the courthouse stage. So this year our early bands will be at the courthouse along with the dancers, and then at 8 o'clock we'll go to the main stage, which will be at the intersection of First and Ocoee, right near SunTrust Bank. Right in that intersection. So it's going to be big and exciting, and lots of great music. But in addition to all the great music, we have probably about 45 vendors that will be lining around the courthouse. They give away candy, give away treats. Of course, they're selling all kinds of great food, information from businesses, just great giveaways, a lot of fun. Churches, ball teams are out there trying to make money. So people definitely want to come and plan to eat there and support those groups and help them raise a little money. We have a costume contest at 6 o'clock. I was going to ask you about that. Okay. That will be at the post office annex. We call that the fun stage, which is actually the post office loading dock, but it makes a wonderful stage. That is also sponsored by Mars Chocolate. So you have the people who win, and it's every category starting with 0 to adults.
Yeah, I was going to ask you their age.
Yes, and they're about 2 years apart. The categories are 2 years increments. So lots of trophies, and there's first, second, and third place in every age group. Lots of candy given away over there as well. So, and it's amazing, the costumes. They are so creative.
Well, I was going to ask you that. You've been at most of these. What is the most unusual costume?
Oh, that is just so hard to answer. There's a couple of guys last year, though. I think it was last year, maybe the year before. They come up really fast. It's amazing. Yeah. They had on these like alien costumes, and they look like they came from the movie set. I don't know where they got them, but they were incredible costumes. But it's just unreal, the creativity. And you've got that kind of just so authentic looking costumes to the ones that people make at home that are just also so creative, and the kids are so cute. Dogs dressed up. It's the gamut. So
did you say dogs?
Dogs.
So they can have pets?
Some people do bring their pets and they dress them up. I mean, I wouldn't advise it. There's so many feet walking around. Your dog's on a leash. If you can carry them, that's good. Okay. But a lot of people do bring their dogs dressed up, and they're really cute. But make sure your dog is used to a lot of noise and a lot of people, because it can be nerve-wracking for them. So you want to be sure that they are comfortable in that kind of environment.
We just had Fran Green, for Administrator of Elections, on. I just wonder if we're going to have a lot of Obama and Romney masks down there this year.
Well, we have Republicans and Democrats down there, their booths for each party. So there will be lots of, I'm sure, things going on. I heard just on the radio today, though, that right now the Obama masks are outselling the Romneys just barely. It's pretty close, just like the election race, but it's pretty close.
Okay, well, that could change, after the vice presidential debate that they had last Thursday, we may see more VP masks. We may see Joe Biden and Paul Ryan masks show up more.
That's true.
So, and after Randall's on, we may have Randall Higgins mask in high demand. For those of you that have wondered what I've got in my lap here, I went through all of my old Halloween block party shirts. And you say it started in '87.
Yes.
And I couldn't find an '87 shirt, but...
Well, that was the candy giveaways when it was just beginning, so there probably weren't shirts those early years. So probably '89, '90 would be the first year
and
of shirts.
This is the, and this is not a fashion show or anything, but this is I guess the oldest that I have. And who's that on the front?
It looks like Tall Betsy with a pumpkin on
Yeah,
it.
it is. Yeah, it does. Although maybe it's not. Well, maybe Tall Betsy decided to wear a costume.
I don't
But
know.
and speaking of Tall Betsy, do we expect Tall Betsy to make an appearance, or you never know about Tall Betsy?
You never know, but that would be a very neat thing to do on the 25th anniversary. So we'll see if that can happen.
I just wonder if the folks that began this ever thought that it would go 25 years.
I don't think so. I talked to Arnold Botts last year, as a matter of fact, and we had that conversation. I said it's just amazing that people who were coming in those early years are coming back and bringing possibly grandchildren. We're talking 3 generations now of coming downtown on Halloween night. So
Yes.
It's so amazing. And you add Centenary Avenue to that mix and all that they do on Centenary, with all the candies given away and the decorations, and it's a great experience for trick-or-treaters.
Now, you've got a little daughter, Emily. She's probably grown up around the block party. She enjoys it too, and she'll be down there.
She'll be there. She's got her costume coming. We've got that ordered.
Do we know what it is, or do you want to not let the cat out of the bag?
Well, I guess it's okay. She's going to be a raccoon. It has to be an animal theme, so she's been an animal every year, but maybe 2.
Now, you don't dress up, though, do you? You have too much work to do.
I'm so wired up that day. It's the last thing I'm thinking about is what I'm wearing.
Your costume is a wired executive director going, I hope everything.
Person.
But it has gone well. We've had very few bumps in the road during the times that we've had this.
It is amazing how smooth it goes. It really is. We have so many volunteers who put this together, help put this together and make everything happen. The Cleveland Police Department is just, can't say enough what they do for this event. They're out there and forced the whole time and answering questions, just helping people, and it's just been so smooth. And there are really no incidents to report in the past. It's just been very good to get that many people in a relatively small space, and everybody's just well behaved and has a good time, and we just appreciate so much those volunteers and the Sheriff's Department and all the emergency workers who are out there representing their agencies.
And it's free.
It is
Let's
free.
make sure people know it's free. If anybody wants to find out the calendar of events or anything like that, you have a website.
Yes, mainstreetcleveland.com.
Okay.
So the details are there. You can link and go look at the bands. Link off and listen to some of their music if you want to hear that ahead of time. So all the details are there. Today is the last day for vendor information, but if somebody's out there and they want to be a vendor, let me know by the end of the day, and we can make it happen.
And how do they do that? How do they reach you?
At 479-1000.
Okay. And your office, which you're in and out, I know a lot. But your office is in the...
I'm in the old City Hall building at 162nd Street.
Okay. Looking forward to this year, 25 years.
It's amazing. I would like to just run down our sponsor list, because that's incredible. We can't do it without our sponsors.
Okay.
Of course, Mars Chocolate, Check Into Cash, and Pioneer Credit are our platinum sponsors. Gold level is the Cleveland Police Department and Johnston Coca-Cola. Silver level is Andrew Johnson Bank, the Bradley County Sheriff's Department, Brenda Lawson's and Associates, Ed Jacobs and Associates, Larry Hill Ford, Waste Connections of Tennessee. And bronze level is BB&T, Chilhowie Dance and Performing Arts, Don Ledford Automotive, Easy Auto, First Tennessee Bank, and H&R Block.
A lot of folks.
There's a lot of people, and that's what makes it happen, and we appreciate them so much. And many of these people have been with us probably 20 of the 25 years, and some all 25. So we just can't say thank you enough to those businesses.
And if you get a chance, thank them also. You're thanking them, but if you get a chance to see these folks, thank them for what they do.
Absolutely.
Not just for Main Street, but what they do for our entire community.
Yes, because a lot of these names you hear every time there's an event. They're out there supporting it every time, and that's what it takes.
They are. Sharon, thanks for coming on. I know you're busy. You've got a week and a half.
2.5.
2.5 weeks to go. So a lot of work to do, but thanks for coming on. And folks, go to the website or give Sharon a call, and she'll fill you in a little bit more with what's going on. We're going to take a break now. We got Randall Higgins coming on, and we'll be right back after these messages.
Town Americana, where trucks are big and bold, and a handshake is firm, and your word is gold. Don Ledford Chevy Buick GMC in Athens is a $2,000 drive. Maybe you're coming from here or here, doesn't matter. Buying a truck from Don Ledford in Athens will save you at least $2,000 bucks. Don Ledford Chevy Buick GMC in Athens, a $2,000 drive worth making.
I'll take that drive every time.
Hello, I'm Bill Odom.
Hi, and I'm Tammy Odom.
We want to invite you to join us on Joyous Living Today for interviews, testimonies, and gospel music by special guests and Dixie Sunshine.
Right here on WTNB, Sundays at 4 p.m. and Tuesdays at 7:30 p.m. You don't want to miss it.
Jesus, Jesus, the light of the world.
Featuring some of the South's most scenic views, the Mountain View Inn has been a landmark in the Cleveland community for over 40 years. Our executive guest quarters with flat screen TVs and excellent bedding will make any guest comfortable. Carrie's Restaurant is one of Cleveland's favorite, with one of the best buffets around.
Hello, and on behalf of the Hughes family, thank you for so many years of your business and your friendship.
Has your disability application been denied? Are you frustrated with the administration's processing of your claim? Do you feel as though the administration simply does not understand why you cannot work? You're not alone. My name is Matthew Coleman, and I'm an attorney representative. I find that many of my clients share these concerns and others. As a representative, it's my job to communicate your claim to the administration in a language that they can understand. As an attorney, it's my duty to fight for the disability benefits that you deserve. Come talk to me. The Social Security Law Center at Logan Thompson, PC.
At Crawford Pharmacy, we offer custom compounding. Our pharmacists are known for their attention to detail and unique expertise. So visit us at 2260 Chambliss Avenue, Cleveland, Tennessee. For personal assistance, walk right in or come up to our convenient drive-thru. Crawford Pharmacy, serving our community one person at a time.
Kyle Motors, 802 20th Street Southeast in Cleveland, is the place to find quality pre-owned cars and trucks. Kyle offers on-the-spot financing on all vehicles on the lot. Each pre-owned vehicle goes through a complete inspection to make sure each car and truck meets the Kyle Motors standard. Warranty and extended warranties available on all vehicles. Kyle Motors will sell you a car or truck that you will be proud to drive for many years to come. See Tony, Bill, Dale, James, or David and let them put you in your next quality pre-owned vehicle. Kyle Motors, 802 20th Street Southeast. Phone 790-7100.
Bradley Courts Community Service. Oh, I'm sorry. You probably heard me make sure that I mention Bradley Courts Community Service. We were talking about who does the cleanup after the block party. You go downtown, and even by 7 o'clock, if you're driving through town, probably even earlier than that, you can't tell that there's been anything go on. There might be a few of the bags being ready to picked up, but for 20,000 people around a courthouse with candy and bands and everything like that, Randy King and Gary Connor's group and everything like that, they do it. They do a great job. Actually, Randall was the one who had mentioned that, and just wanted to make sure that we gave them some dap too, if we can. My next guest is Randall Higgins. If you've never met Randall, you've probably seen his name in the paper, and it's not because he's been in any trouble, but it's because he's been writing about people who have been in trouble. Randall has been a reporter for, what were you telling me?
Well, actually a bit over 40 years. 72 to 77, I came back from the Army and was at the Banner. 77, I still lived in Cleveland, but started commuting to Chattanooga with the Chattanooga Times. Covered region news mostly from Rome, Georgia to Knoxville, and especially in our circulation area of about 11 Tennessee counties and about a half a dozen North Georgia counties and a couple of Alabama counties. And then when the merger happened,
yes,
the end of '99, what I'd been advocating for quite a while happened, and that is somebody full-time here. And since I'm here, I got the job. So the past 12 years, I've been covering almost exclusively Cleveland-Bradley County and doing it from Cleveland and Bradley County. I go to Chattanooga about once a week for a staff meeting, and that's about it.
So if there's something going on in this area, you're almost always the person. Although I know they'll have some reporters that will do features and things like that up here. But when news breaks, as they say on TV, and we're there, usually that means Randall's there.
And hopefully occasionally a staff photographer or somebody else. But
I've seen you take pictures too.
Yeah, I can do that. I can do that.
You can do that. What made you get into to journalism? You say you were in the military.
Yeah.
You got out of the military.
Before the military though, I was at Tennessee Tech. I went there, believe it or not, to become a chemist. And got involved with the student newspaper, became its editor, and as the newspaper's editor, I therefore got to hang out a lot at the place where our paper was published, which happens to be the Cookeville Herald-Citizen, and hooked, from then on. So when I came back from the and Tech at the time did have a journalism program. It was part of their English degree program.
Okay.
But I went ahead with that instead of my chemistry, much to my parents' dismay, because chemists make a lot more money.
And newspaper people don't.
Do not.
Do not.
But came back from the Army then. I served 2 years there and came back here and went knocking on the Banner's door, and Beecher Hunter and Goldie Wattenbarger hired me. So
you worked with a couple of old timers there. I don't know exactly how to say that because I worked with I didn't get a chance to work with Beecher, but I did work with Goldie.
Yeah.
And a lot of folks would have this or that to say about Goldie, but Goldie cared about the paper. He wanted the paper to do what the paper was designed for, and that was to tell folks the news in our community.
Yeah.
And Beecher was a great mentor for a lot of folks, I know.
Yeah, he was. It's amazing how many. And of course, he worked in Chattanooga for a little while too, the Chattanooga Post, which lasted a few years. It was kind of an evening version of the Times for a while. But he knew newspaper business, probably still does, inside out and backwards. And he was an inspiration to a lot of people.
A lot of you were saying, well, now why's he got Randall on the show, just talking about newspaper?
Yeah, you've got two ladies with lots of news and then an old timer.
And then an old timer. But with him being an old timer, it sometimes it gets to a point where it's time to put the reporter pad down and mosey on into the sunset or whatever. I don't even know if they have one of those like old reporters don't die. They just
I've never heard of it.
We'll make one up eventually.
Okay, hey, that's a good idea.
But Randall is retiring this week.
This Friday. Friday will be my last day at the end of 40 years and whatever months it is since I started. Actually, I started on April Fool's Day, 1972.
Okay,
so
that's appropriate.
So it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
It'll be a bit over 40 years, and just want to enjoy life a little bit. Not that I've really had a great time with a career. I've covered major crimes, not only around here, but all over Southeast Tennessee,
Sure.
North Georgia, etc. I've got to cover TVA some. I even did some NASA stories.
Okay.
My first years at the Times had a city editor named Billy Warren, who was also an Air Force Reserve officer, and did his PR work then as a reserve officer. That's what he did for his reservist training at the Pentagon, and of course he was big on NASA. So the first shuttle launch I got to spend at Marshall Space Flight Center in Huntsville, Alabama. Didn't get to go to Florida, but Marshall was in charge of developing the booster rockets, the engineering of that and everything. So I was sitting down there with all of the real smart people.
Yeah.
And
that you would have known if you'd stayed as a chemist. You would have been with all the smart people.
Well, they would have probably laughed at me.
Yeah, laughed at you.
Yeah.
40 years in the business. You mentioned getting to do the work there with NASA and all. You've got to have some stories to tell, and we don't have enough time to tell all the stories. But are there? Do you remember what your first story was?
Oh, absolutely.
What was your first story?
The first story for the Cleveland Banner was a murder case.
Really?
There was a businessman. His name was Neil McClary, and he owned a store which at where the Crystal is now, in that area on North. Keith Street.
Keith Street.
And that was kind of the edge of town.
Mm-hmm.
And some folks came in and robbed the store and killed him. And so when I got to the paper that day as a cub reporter, the city editor at the time, a lady named Naomi Gibson.
Sure, I know Naomi.
She had me going out there to the store. And the next thing I know, because I-75 wasn't complete to Charleston, the next thing I know, I'm in a sheriff's patrol car. They let you do that then. And we're tearing up US 11 to Charleston, where they made the arrest.
Okay.
And if I wasn't hooked in college, I was hooked then.
That did it.
So, yeah.
So,
but that was the very first.
That was your first story. Let me just throw some questions out to you to let you answer. That was your first story. What was the most favorite story that you've done?
Favorite?
Yes. And I know a lot of times a favorite story ends up being a feature story or something like that.
And this is too, and it doesn't happen in Bradley County. It happens on Sand Mountain in Alabama. Mid 90s maybe, early 90s maybe. There was this scare about UFOs on Sand Mountain.
Sure.
And you know, that's kind of high elevated area, so they're closer to the stars in the sky, I guess. But there had been some livestock mutilation reports. And people were getting kind of edgy about that. And then, of course, somebody sees strange lights in the sky. And so there was a point where people were gathering in there were some very small towns that just sort of string out along the top of Sand Mountain. And people were watching the sky for lights. And so I spent one night in Rainsville, Alabama, we were just sort of sky watching.
Yeah.
And there were some people there that claimed, they said, that they saw lights moving. I know I saw an airplane, but now they said they saw something else. I can't say they did or didn't.
Right.
But
you wrote about it.
I wrote about what they said.
I don't know that I've ever done a UFO story, so I can't match that.
When my sons were teenagers, that's when they decided that I did something cool for work. Up until then, even I took my youngest son to a murder trial one time. I thought, you know, this is the way it really is. You know, this is, you know, what you see on TV. Well, here's the real thing. He was so bored.
Really?
So, but now when they found out about the UFOs that I'd been watching for, cool.
Cool. I like what you do. Yeah. And I personally enjoyed covering court as much as anything.
Yeah, I did. I've always enjoyed covering courts because you've got people, what they say, like real people, you know, instead of people that are used to being in media attention, and there's all kinds of emotion and drama. It's a story. Yeah. It's a real story happening to real people, and it could really get your heart. So yeah.
I wish I had more time to ask you a lot of questions because we're running toward the end of the program. But what is the hardest story that you ever had to cover?
Oh, that was also during my Banner days, the Militia Gibson child abuse case. I first met that little girl. Police back then, believe it or not, were not as equipped as they are now, so they called me at home one night to come to the hospital. This little baby girl had been abused, cigarette burns and stuff, but Militia was an infant at that point. And then I saw her again a few years later. Well, I didn't actually see her a few years later. She died. I was covering her story. And myself, Sandra Rowland, Dan Gilley, and Bill Hatcher, he's passed away now. Sure. But we were the Banner crew, and we kind of just fell in line and followed that story to this pitiful story of the little girl that died from her stepfather's child abuse, actually. And they, of course, served time in prison for that, her parents did. But that eventually changed some of the Tennessee child abuse reporting laws about stricter regulations on reporting and making sure that the community knows these things. Of course, child abuse still happens, but that was sort of the first local, really big awareness of the problem.
Randall, I'm going to go ahead and ask you this right now. Can I get you on the show another time so we can talk more about some of the stories?
Some of the specifics?
Yeah, some of the stories that we've done. What are you going to do now? We've got maybe a minute left.
Well, still exploring possibilities. I'm enrolled in the Encore program for seniors at Lee University.
Wow!
Got a couple of classes there, history and music. They've got all kinds. If you're over 60, check that out. They've got all kinds of stuff that you can learn, and I'd like to do some volunteering because over the years I've been acquainted with all kinds of great organizations and went away thinking, gee, it'd be nice to be a part of that. But I couldn't.
I will find a spot for you to volunteer.
Somehow.
I know a few folks like that. Randall, thanks for coming on the show. And let's do this again because I've got so many things I want to ask you about the business and all that.
All right.
But we're out of time today. So we want to tell everyone, have a good Monday. Have a great week.
Early voting, as Fran said.
Right. Don't forget to not go vote early, yes, and attend the block party on the 31st, okay? Folks, thanks for joining us. We will see you next time. Bye-bye.